What is up, everybody? J Nail here with my UFC 237 recap video. I know I'm a couple days late. That's because this weekend I was working on doing picks for my new jewelry line. Just J Nail's Jewelry, Triple J. The first line is my jean collection made from real jeans, but we're not going to get into that in full right now. But that's what I was doing this weekend. All right. So real quick, I was probably a little procrastinating also because for the third event in a row, I only got one pick right. Feeling a little Kenny Florian over here. I'm gonna have to reevaluate my methods. All right. So, luckily, well, not luckily, we did not see the Diego Ferreira versus Francisco Trinaldo fight. I actually still don't know why. Let me know what happened, who got hurt, what was the injury, how long they're going to be out, so on and so forth. Instead, we saw Irene Aldana take on Bethe Correia, and I did do a pick on this about 2 hours before the fight on Instagram and Twitter, and luckily I did because it's the only fight that I got right. So let's get into it. This was the first fight. I chose Irene Aldana to beat Bethe Correia. She did. This ended in the third round. She started off good. She had a nice reach advantage. She was using that. She was landing from afar, but she was stepping backwards when she was swinging. So she was taking the steam off of her punches by not sitting and planting. Eventually, she got a little one note too. It's kind of the same 1-2, 1-2 combination. And as the fight went on, Bethe started to pick that up. She started to eat a couple shots because they really weren't that strong, get through them, and then land some shots of her own. So she started to do better. I started to get a little bit nervous until she went for a super telegraph takedown in the third round. Irene was able to go for an armbar, switch it to a belly down armbar on the ground, and she got the tap tap. Good win for Irene Aldana. Who do you think she should fight next? And again, let me know what happened with what was supposed to be the opener, Francisco Trinaldo and Diego Ferreira. All right. Now, so from now on, I didn't get any of these picks. So we're not going to go through that. We're just going to go ahead and talk about the rest of this great card, as the Brazil cards are always great. Now, so we saw La Reano Staropoli beat Thiago Alves, a 3-round unanimous decision. I totally agree. He just got started first. He just outworked him with the offense. He's very awkward in his movement. His stuff comes from weird angles. The way he moves his head, weird angles. He's deceptively strong. He's got a weird turn on those punches. Just everything is kind of really awkward. A lot of these things have really no telegraph. You kind of don't know what's going to happen. So I think that Thiago took like the first round and a half off trying to get a read on him. But then it's kind of like you're only in a 3-round fight. You got to fight. And it was kind of too little too late. At the end of the third round is when he did like his most production. And I think if he would have started like that, maybe this could have went another way, but he did not. La Reano did not get tired, so his offensive output did not wane. It kept up, and I agree with the win. This is only his second fight in the UFC. Who would you like to see him fight next? Next up, we saw, I'm actually kind of happy. We saw Alexander Volkanovski get a pretty dominant victory over Jose Aldo in Brazil. This wasn't the most exciting fight. I mean, I think he was cautious with Jose. Jose just seemed a little flat. I don't know if he was waiting to get a read. I thought the kicks would be key, and they were, but not for Jose. They were for Alexander. He started kicking first, picking apart the lead leg first, so I don't know if he just hampered Jose's movement. Jose seemed to be looking for the one-hit quitter coming kind of throughout the entire fight, and again, getting outworked. Alexander completely outworked him, and then as the fight went on, he started to wear him down, push him up against the cage. I don't think he took him down, I believe, one time, and Jose was able to get up. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but really he was able to just kind of hold him against the cage, hold the position victory, and land some serious knees to the thigh as well. So again, he just worked him all the way around, held the dominant position. He won the fight. This is a win over a huge name. He's already ranked him before as Jose #1, so he should get the next title shot. I know that people who think that Frankie Edgar should get it, even though he's coming off of a loss, because thank you for taking that fight and saving the card, but honestly, he didn't have to do that. And that's just all there is to it. He didn't have to do that. And when he took that fight against Brian Ortega and he got knocked out, this wasn't a close loss. He got knocked out for the very first time. It knocked him down the rankings like it does everyone else. But I guess if the fans chirp loud enough, maybe he will get the title shot. But I think he should have to fight someone else. Now, you can convince me that he should have to fight Alexander. Okay, I'm down with that. But either way, I don't think he should get the next title shot coming off of getting KO'd by Brian Ortega. Not when we got Alexander on, what, a 16-fight win streak, coming off of a win over the #1 contender, Jose Aldo. So I'm not buying it. You guys let me know what you think. If it should be him, should be Frankie, should be them two fight. Let me know what you think should be the next step in the featherweight division, especially with Max coming back down. Now, co-main event, we saw Jared Cannonier get the victory over Alexander Silva at Alexander. I'm so sorry. The legend, Anderson, the Spider Silva. My bad, my brother. We saw him get the win, and the crowd did not like it. He was kind of had a little attitude from the beginning, even in the press conferences and the interviews I saw before the event. He was talking about how the crowd this, the crowd that, even though I know everybody makes a big deal about how aggressive the crowd can be, but that's just what it is. You're not supposed to take it seriously. You're supposed to feed off of that, which I think he did, but I think he just took it a little bit personally. So here's how the fight goes. We get into the fight. He's doing his best to try to press the pace, to try to walk forward, but I don't think he was throwing enough. Alexander was still oh my God, I'm so sorry, Anderson. Anderson was still landing some shots. He was trying to bait him into certain things, do that patent, put his back up against the cage, but Jared wasn't really falling for anything, but he really wasn't throwing enough. Anderson kind of saw what was going on, so he needed to work more. He was landing leg kicks the entire time, though, and that was his thing. He said he was going to work the legs, and he did. He landed about 12 good leg kicks, and I was going to say this was the second round, but I believe this was actually the second round. Oh, my God, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the beginning of the second round is when he landed the fatal final leg kick, and it blew out Anderson's knee. He fell to the ground in pain. The ref stopped the fight. There was no need to continue. Anderson had to have help getting it back up. He went straight to his home and not to the hospital. Someone let me know what's the diagnosis on Anderson Silva's knee. The crowd was booing, intensely, just aggressively, so hard that Jared really couldn't even speak. Afterwards, he did show respect to Anderson and all of that, and gave him his props. But then he said, but to the crowd, you guys don't respect me, so I don't respect you, even though I think the translator didn't say that. I think the translator was like, and I respect the crowd. I think the translator was looking out for Jared Cannonier and wanted to make sure he didn't get followed back to his hotel room. So that's what happened there. Anderson Silva, 44 years old, you're a living legend. I understand that you're not looking like you don't have it in these fights. You can still compete. However, you don't have to. You've given us so much. You have money. Whenever you want to stop, it's fine. I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't think anyone wants to see this. So what do you guys think Anderson Silva should do? I guess it depends on how bad this injury is. So someone let me know what it is. And depending on how bad it is, should he quit? He's got 4 fights left. He's only fighting for us, our entertainment. He even said that. We've been entertained enough, man. You've given us enough. Thank you. So let me know the update on Anderson Silva and who you think Jared Cannonier should fight next. This was a great look for him, great performance. He looked strong, he looked quick, all of those things. Yeah. Now, main event and new UFC strawweight champion Jessica Andrade. She defeated the reigning champ, Miss Thug Rose Namajunas. And boy, did she. Boy, what a fight. One fight of the night. It was the best fight of the main card. I didn't see the prelims. Let's get into it. First round, Rose is whooping Jessica's ass. And that's just all there is to it. She bloodied her eye within the first minute of the first round. She had a 3-inch reach advantage, which she used perfectly. Her movement, she was quicker than Jessica. The footwork, she had a jab Jessica couldn't even see. She bloodied up the eye within the first minute. Jessica went for a takedown at one point. She went for the Kimura lock to nullify the takedown so she couldn't slam her. When she went down, she went for an armbar, used it to get back up. Again, she's landing kicks. She's landing everything from space. She's got her bloody eye, blood running into the eye. Jessica even said she had problems seeing. This is all in the first round. Knees landed. So I'm thinking, I got this pick in the bag. Here we go. No. Second round. Second round, Jessica started to employ the leg kicks, and it really worked. She actually started to bruise up Rose's leg in that second round there. So leg kicks started to hamper the movement. Then she pushed her up against the cage again, started to go for the takedown. Rose did the exact same thing, went for the Kimura. This time, Jessica made the adjustment. She moved her head outside and went for a single leg. Instead, she went to pick her up and through the air and slam her, and instead of Rose letting go of the arm, because Jessica made the necessary adjustments, Rose did not. She held on to the arm, and as she flew through the air and got slammed directly on her neck and head, out. Sleep. Devastating. First slam KO from a lady. This was highlight reel. This was, I jumped up. Okay, jumped up. This is after her getting her butt whooped for this first round. She made the adjustments. Rose did not. Rose did get up. She is okay. Someone let me know if she went to the doctor and if she had a concussion or something like that. Someone let me know. And new strawweight champion, Miss Jessica Andrade. First female KO against Carolina. First female slam knockout. This girl, fun to watch. This division now, because remember, Joanna has beaten her. So now she's already chirping. You've got all these other ladies. You got Tatiana Suarez going against, I really like Tatiana, going against Nina Ansaroff, who honestly, I'm not the biggest, I don't necessarily check for Nina, but she keeps winning. And it's just one of those things, she just keeps winning. So it's you have to pay attention. So they got a fight coming up, which is good. This strawweight division just got interesting. So afterwards, Rose Namajunas in post-press conference pretty much said she's done fighting for now. She said, I paid off my house. I just want to do something else with my life right now. I believe she's 23, 24 years old. That's it. She could take a good 3-4 years off, have a kid, and come back. She is that young. So whatever works for you. We've known that mentally she's always had a really tough time dealing with the stress and the pressure of the sport. In her second fight against Joanna, after she already beat her in the first one, she was so nervous that she needed her hands to the point where they were bleeding, and her coach Trevor Whitman was scared that she would get taken out of the fight due to psychological reasons. So this girl has a real tough time handling being champ. After the fight in the post, she said, after the immediate post fight with the commentator, she said, a big weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So look, you get right mentally. Get right mentally. If you want to come back, I would love to see you. You have beautiful skill. You're a beautiful talent. So I would always welcome you in the UFC, but you got to have your mind right. You got to have your mind right. So girl, thank you for what you've given to us. I hope you come back. You're super young. So get your mind right. Do what you need to do for yourself, Rose. And until then, and anew. All right. You can hit me in my messages or anything if you want to contact. There's graduations and things coming up. These are basically available in Los Angeles, California, where I'm at. And I'll be in Utah starting this from the 6th to the 11th or something like that. So they'll be available then. But yeah, so contact me further about Triple J. But anyway, let me know your injury updates, your picks, how you did. Let me know how you thought about that incredible event, about how the crowd treated all the fighters, especially Jared Cannonier, and how he handled that, about the injury updates, about Anderson Silva, and of course the new champion. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I've already put out the actual recap because I did do that on time. But again, I do updates, I do changes, I do all of that on Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook, Snapchat, and all the other mediums. So yeah, subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.